Welcome back to the Talk of Fame podcast. I'm Kyliemontigney, and today I'm so excited to introduce you to Jack Lutz. Indie pop from Columbus, Ohio, is inspired by the vintage sights and sounds of Elvis Presley, Steven Sanchez, the Stray Cats, the Beach Boys, and the Beatles. With modern influences ranging from the Jonas Brothers, Joshua Bassett, Justin Timberlake, and John Mayer. After starting the solo project in March of 2023, Jack has released 7 singles with an EP forthcoming. In addition to his music releases, Jack also had the opportunity to open for multiple national artists such as 24 Golden, Wheatus, and Lee DeWyze. Welcome to the show, Jack. I'm so excited to have you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited about this opportunity.
So to kick off this episode, can you share us your music journey? Because you're currently in college right now in Ohio. But what actually kicked it off though?
Yeah, so I don't know. I've kind of just like been around music my whole life. My dad is like a huge music buff, and so like he was taking me to concerts as like a little kid, and basically from like 4 or 5 years old, we my dad was like, "We got to get you in guitar lessons," and I was like, "Yeah." So and then my local guitar store, the youngest you could start taking lessons at was 7 years old. So as soon as my birthday's in January, so for Christmas, that right before my seventh birthday, I got my first guitar, and then we got me in lessons, and yeah, and then I started just playing guitar, and I started writing in middle school. And I formed my first band in middle school called the Rapid Jags, and we made an album by the end of high school. We were together all of high school, and then we haven't really done much since going off to college because we all went to different colleges. And then my sophomore year, currently a senior in college, and then my sophomore year, I decided to start like a more pop friendly solo project because I when my high school band was more like blues rock. So yeah.
Like, how did you start a band in middle school though? That's a little crazy. To start a
Yeah,
band
no,
in middle school, that's different.
yeah, no, it's funny. So the drummer in the band, Aiden Schaefer, who is actually plays drums for me frequently live now and plays on some of my studio tracks. Um, he had been like my best buddy since kindergarten, and that was one thing we like always bonded over was just like classic rock. And he actually started playing the drums. And so we just started literally starting in like sixth grade. We started like jamming consistently. Then I was in choir and I had a friend named Logan Gallant in choir that was like, yeah, my dad like played in bands. So we have like tons of guitars and tons of basses, and then he just loves singing. And so I was like, us three should just like start a band. And so we did. And yeah, we just had a lot of fun. We um Logan was mostly the lead singer. I sang about 30% of the songs and played guitar. Logan played bass, and Aiden played drums. So yeah.
Like, did any of your family members play music live or anything, or was it just like your dad was just like the music influence per se?
Yeah, my aunt um plays flute and plays in like a lot of like musicals and even has like a album out with like a flute group she's in, as well as my grandmother plays piano and sings. And so like growing up going to church, she would be a cantor. And so and I would go to my grandparents' house. I'd ride the bus to my grandparents' house after school. And so there was always some music going on there. So yeah.
That's not surprising though. The
Yeah.
actual musical influence though, to go there every
Yeah.
day and just hear music, like that's
Yeah.
literally the dream, man.
Yeah. Then my older
Honestly, I
brother.
wish I grew up like that for some reason. Just going to the bus to grandparents' house, 20 minutes
Yeah.
up the road, and just hearing music, like that's just the dream there.
Yeah. And then my older brother plays guitar and bass as well, and so he taught me a lot of like my first like rock riffs. And
Yeah,
he's
like did he
14
take it
years older than me.
seriously or did he just do it for fun?
Yeah, he just does it more for fun. He's an accountant. Yeah, he just has a good time with it. So yeah.
Oh, two different things though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. One brother has to do something musical. It's nothing bad.
Yeah, yeah,
At
there we
least
go.
someone took it seriously though.
Yeah.
Completely be realistic here. Like at least someone took
Yeah.
it seriously.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, as you said before, you're big into rock music, which I absolutely love. I'm a big rock music person as well. You like Elvis Presley,
Huh.
Steven Sanchez, the Stray Cats, and the Beatles. Like, those are big people. And
Huh.
still to this day in 2024, like, what drew you to their music, like, growing up?
It's funny, like I was like raised on like 90s alternative rock and grunge and like 80s hair metal. And it wasn't really until middle school I really like made the effort of finding music like for myself. Like if there was like a top 40 like pop song that came out that like you would just hear everywhere, like I would listen to that. But it was like I didn't like scout out for music. And it was really like in like eighth grade, I in seventh grade, I was like really drawn to like 60s era music.
Mhm.
So like that was like the Beatles and Beach Boys side of it. And then actually during COVID is when I like really stumbled. Obviously, I knew who Elvis Presley was. I knew his big songs, but I never like really spent time with his music.
Mhm.
Um, so that was like during COVID, I finally like found his music and just like became obsessed with it. And then I actually uh during the summers when I'm home, I work at a movie theater, and the first summer I worked for the movie theater, the Elvis movie came out,
Oh
and it
my
was like,
God, really?
yeah, yeah. And so that was like I just was like obsessed with it. I went to see it like 3 times, and I even
I
got
was the same way. I
yeah.
literally saw it millions of times that I just couldn't keep track of it at that point. I was so
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
Yeah. And so then it was funny because not this like previous summer, but the summer before, I like got into a little like 50s music phase, like Elvis again, but like all the other guys from the 50s. So like Eddie Cochran, Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, and like Bobby Darin, just like all that kind of music. And I got really into the Stray Cats, what's like an 80s band, but they're super like influenced by the 50s stuff.
Mhm.
And then I just like kept in the back of my mind, oh, this could be cool to like maybe do. Because at that time, my solo project was more just like straightforward, modern, like pop rock.
Mhm.
I was like, it could be cool to like add a little throwback to my sound. And um, then like 2 months later, I went to this concert like kind of on a whim with my friend to see Steven Sanchez, and he's like total like throwback to the 50s in like a modern way, and I was just like, this is amazing. I gotta like hop on this train. And so soon enough, I like literally bought like a 50s guitar, and then wrote a song called If Only We Could Last Forever. Went to the studio 2 months later, once I got on winter break last school year's winter break, recorded it, and then released it in March. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a full EP of this like 50s, 60 influenced thing because that's just like what I've always been really drawn to. So yeah.
Oh my God, because I was literally the same way. Like when I got into rock music, it was probably like late pandemic, probably 2021,
Uh,
probably. Like I grew up
gotcha.
basically on Elvis. My aunt's literally a diehard Elvis fan, so
Love it.
basically she made it her whole personality. And saw him at a concert a million times years ago when he was back performing. I'm just like,
Wow.
to live in that time,
Yeah.
it's
For
like
real.
I would die for it.
Yeah. That would be so cool.
Like with
Yeah.
rock music, I like a little mix of everything. Like I grew up listening to mostly pop music, like Beyonce, Rihanna, kind of like what my parents listened
Huh.
to. But as time went on, I'm just like, I'd rather just listen to rock and roll music or like country music or something now. Even though I like a
Yeah.
mix of
There you
everything,
go.
I'm just like, what's this keep
Uh,
rock and roll and country? Then I'll be straightforward, happy,
yeah.
really don't care. But if you could be a tribute artist, would you do it for Elvis Presley or would you do it for someone else?
That's a tough question. I've like honestly like thought about that. Like honestly, that would be so much fun being an Elvis tribute artist.
Like
But I don't
there's
know.
so
I feel
many
like
out there. Like it's
yeah.
become like very popular, especially after like the
Yeah.
Elvis movie came out.
Yeah. And it's just like I don't know. There's just like I'm just like a big fan of like I don't know. There's never been like one specific artist that I'm just like enamored by where I'm just like I want to be him
I
kind of.
know. I'm the same way. Like, there's so many
And
artists
so
I love, but I'm just
yeah.
like, I never been fascinated to the point where I just want to be that person for
Yeah.
the rest of my life.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know who like I would pick as a if I was doing a tribute act to somebody.
There's honestly
Yeah.
plenty, honestly, because
Yeah.
there's so many like
So
good
many.
artists that you can't
Yeah.
really choose just one specific.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
with all of the new singles and everything, you
Uh,
released 7 singles so far. Like, how do
uh,
you decide which songs to release as singles versus including them on the EP? Because there's such
yeah.
a big difference between an EP and an album that a lot
Yeah.
of people get confused by.
Yeah. So when I first started the solo project, I was like well, I my high school band did an album, and that just like that was just a lot, and I was really happy we did it. I'm still to this day like really proud of the album the boys and I made together. Um, but I don't know. I wanted to just take things like one step at a time and just going single by single because I felt like right now with the like current state of music, um, people it's a lot easier to just like pitch somebody, hey, listen to my new song than listen to my new album that's 40 minutes long. So I was only thinking singles for for the first year of my solo project basically. And then once, if only we could last forever, like, because I didn't know how people would receive it because it was a little unique of a sound, a little bit of a sound change, but people loved it, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm, I think it would be great for me with like popularity of like Steven Sanchez and now this guy from the UK by the name of Elliot James Ray. Um, I think I should just like go all in, just make a 5 song EP where it's still not that long since most of my songs are shorter. It's probably about 15 minutes long. Um, but it gives people like like basically my idea was like the people that wanted more of Angel Face with the Steven Sanchez album. That was like here's another like 15 minutes of something kind of similar. And so basically, I just focused on. I knew If Only We Could Last Forever was obviously going to be on the EP, and then I was originally just going to release all the whole 5 songs at the end of August. But then it got to be like a month and a half out, and I was like, honestly, let's get one more single out because I end up having a show on July 20th, and I'm like, it would be honestly great to play one new song. And so I released the song Valley Girl on July 19th. And so yeah, and then basically I just had the whole EP as a vision, but I still wanted to make it where I like believed that I could promote any song as a single. So now I'm just kind of doing that through TikTok. I'm trying to give each song like its own spotlight on TikTok, as opposed to just like picking like 1 or 2 tracks off a whole EP, and then kind of just leaving the rest for people to find. Um, but yeah,
That's what most songwriters are doing now is promoting on TikTok. That's why
yeah,
I find that most people get big is off of TikTok. Like the more
yeah,
you post, like most people post like 2 or 3 times a day on TikTok.
yeah,
That's through their
yeah,
own songs. Like I can't even tell you how many artists pop up. Maybe it's like a smaller artist or an independent artist comes on my TikTok feed a day. And I spend a lot of
yeah.
time on TikTok, don't get me wrong. I at least probably get at least 100 or so a day.
Yeah.
Not even. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's on the TikTok game now. And it's honestly worked out great for me so far with like ever since I started doing the more vintage vibe stuff and honestly have fun with it. So, yeah.
Like with nowadays, a lot of people like to post those vintage artists, like
Hmm.
especially songs. Like a lot of people probably like that now than most pop stuff, bigger artists like Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter are posting now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So to go on to your newest song,
Uh-huh.
or EP,
Uh-huh.
can you give us a little story and inspiration behind your latest EP, Heartbreak Season, and what motivated you to write it?
Yeah, so it's funny. So this song um and the whole EP, Heartbreak Season. Heartbreak Season is like one of like the first songs I actually wrote for the entire solo project. I I wrote it with one of my friends that we were going through like breakups at like the same time, and then just one day we had some time to kill before like a class, and so we just sat down and we just started writing, and it ended up in that just like hour and a half time frame, we got the first verse and chorus of what came to be Heartbreak Season. And so my original plan was to, so my first single is Halos, and then my second single is Waste of My Time. And my third single is Monkey. And then my plan was to release those three with Heartbreak Season as an EP back like in 2023. But we recorded Heartbreak Season, and there was just like something just like a little off with it. Like one thing, it didn't really fit the vibe of the other three, but I don't know. There was just something that I like hadn't found yet with the song that I knew I just needed to sit on. And um, when it came time when I figured out what it was, I would be able to go back to the studio and like finish the track. And um, and then I end up having the idea of the whole like 50s EP like 6 months later. And I'm like 50s and 60s EP, and I was like that song is perfect for it. And so we just added some more reverb and try to make it a little old schooler sounding and added a little bit more doo-woppy harmonies and yeah, that's how it is today. And it's funny because that EP, the track list order is actually the order I wrote all those songs in.
Oh,
um
actually?
yeah, and it's also the order I recorded all of them in. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how it just all worked out that way. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just had fun with it. And I just tried to make every track a little bit different, but either something that was highly influenced by artists in the 50s or the 60s. So yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And so
was the EPs like two
Mhm.
separate things? Like, did you like was it two separate EPs or did you just combine them together?
so the first EP I never end up actually releasing. I released Halos, Waste of My Time, and Monkey as three separate singles. And then I just kept Heartbreak Season in on the back burner, just didn't release the track, and then reworked it a little bit. Once I went to go, I had like had the entire vision for the Heartbreak Season EP, and I'm like, the EP is gonna be named Heartbreak Season, and these are gonna be the 5 songs on it. And then I spent basically all of last summer recording uh reworking Heartbreak Season in the studio and then recording Valley Girl, Star-Crossed Lover, and Girl in My Dreams. And then through If Only We Could Last Forever onto the EP. Um, and then released it the last Friday of summer before I started my semester. So yeah, it was pretty
Not
fun.
bad. It's
Yeah.
honestly not
Thank
gonna
you.
lie, it kind of reminds me of Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley for some reason.
Oh, thank
Once I
you.
saw the name, like after reading your bio, I was like, this has to be Elvis related or something.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
Heartbreak
you.
Hotel and everything,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh yeah, such a
this
good
dude
song.
really finds inspiration from Elvis Presley, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love him. If it says anything, even now I'm like, I'm also like a big vinyl guy, so I'm like trying to collect all of his records.
I'm
So,
the same way. I never bought anything from him yet,
uh,
but I just started getting into videos. Like I've kind of been into it, but I just never bought it because I'm like too lazy to spend money on those.
uh,
But I literally just have like a whole Amazon wish list saved of
uh.
albums, and it's mostly all his. Like
Oh, there
probably
you
more
go. Yeah.
97.
I love it. Yeah, no. Yeah, that like definitely first and foremost, yeah, Elvis definitely really inspired that project. And it's funny because if you would have asked me like when starting the project, like only like a year before, if I would have done like a heavily Elvis inspired EP, I would have been like, no, you're crazy. But then I don't know, he just like I came back to his music at what I felt was just the right time and it inspired me. So, and with like acts like Steven Sanchez and Elliot James Ray coming into the mainstream, becoming popular, kind of doing that throwback sound, I was like, you know what, this is cool, and I'm gonna I'll try to take a stab at it too, since I have a big love for that music as well as like playing like bluesy guitar. And so I'm like, worst comes to worst, it doesn't hit, and I can always just go back and to doing regular pop rock because there's always going to be a place for that. And so, but sure enough, it's been doing a lot better than any of my pop stuff. So it's been pretty heartwarming, and I'm just so thankful for the reception it's gotten in uh, these like 4 months it's been out already. What's kind of crazy, it's already been 4 months. I just
Wait,
like
actually,
now
4 months?
yeah, it I
That's
released at the end
crazy.
of August, so something like that.
Crazy
So
how time flies. Because right
yeah,
now we're basically at the end of the year already, which is
yeah, no,
it
this
feels like
year's
it was just
flown
New
by.
Year's already for me. Because every
Yeah,
day I'm just like always trying to do something and never realize what day it actually is. And to
yeah,
realize
no,
it's
for real.
December, it's like you're insane. Like just
Yeah, no, for real. It's like it's finals week at college this week, and I'm like, man, where did the semester go?
I know
Like,
that's something I'm absolutely dreading next year is
yeah,
finals. I'm just
yeah,
like, as long as I get through the finals, then I'm good.
yeah,
Like anything else,
exactly.
I'm good with. But the finals is something I'm absolutely dreading next year.
Yeah, yeah. The finals could be a tough week. A lot of staying up late working on assignments. But thankfully I did most of my work this weekend. So I have a presentation to give later today. But other than that, yeah, I got an exam, but I'm basically done with all my papers. So
Oh,
um
not
that,
bad. At least you
that,
got
that
the
I'm happy
couple
with.
bonus things out of the way than
Yeah.
the easier stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So
So the
I already got the
last
whole
thing
presentation made up. So
I
it'll just
know, like I'd
be
probably rather do a presentation than a paper, honestly. It probably
yeah,
just take
same
me
here.
like a whole lot of time and late nights to do a presentation.
Yeah.
Like it's a full like 1,000 word paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, because I'm not the best writer, so I'm just like, I'll just rather have someone write a paper for me and pay them how many money and then do
Yeah.
a presentation that will probably take me like an hour or two.
Yeah, that's real. That's so real.
So the last thing I have for you is
Huh?
like, what's next for you and your music?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's honestly a question I've been kind of asking myself these past 2 months because it's like after like doing such a like EP, I guess I didn't realize I like never really gave myself a songwriting break in the past almost 2 years. And so once I like finished that EP, I was just like creatively like burnt out.
Mhm.
So I was just like, so now I'm in the state where now I'm like starting to write again, and I'm just trying to decide if I wanted to keep like the 50s, 60s thing going on a little bit longer, or just go back to like or find something new to make, like a new little era. But I think I'm gonna keep the 50s, 60s train rolling a little bit longer. Um, my goal is to write a song over winter break. I already got two songs like started, and I'm liking where they're headed. And then come back from winter break and record one, and then hopefully get it out by February-ish. Um, and then yeah, I'm just gonna I have a show in Columbus January 9th. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I actually just got off of last like month and a half has been absolutely crazy. I've got the incredible opportunity to open for three acts I love. So it was just like one after another. I sent in to try to open all these shows, and sure enough, I just hit like a hot streak where I got to open for 2000s band that I love called Phantom Planet, and then I got to open up for Jonah Murray on his solo tour, and he's a member of a boy band called Why Don't We? And then I got to open up for on Black Friday, so about 10 days ago, open up for a band called Sponge, what is a 90s like alt rock band. But it was really cool too because it was literally a band like my dad and I have always bonded over. Like when I got my first iPod Touch, like in third grade, when my dad uploaded like his favorite songs to have me listen to, he uploaded Sponge, and so it was pretty cool and uh very like it was just a really cool experience to like be able to open for that band, like my dad and I, and with my dad in the audience, and uh, open up for that band that we've bonded so much. And he had never actually seen Sponge live, and he had been a fan since their first album in 1994. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm just like now so I just was on a good run of shows, and so now I'm about to go into break. I should be home on like Thursday night, and so my goal is to just write a song or two this break, play that show in Columbus, and then just relax, play some guitar, and kind of get recharged for another for my last semester at school, and a whole another semester of uh, trying to do some cool things with the solo project.
Absolutely. And how did
Yeah.
your dad feel about the concert stuff, though? Because if you love that band growing
Huh.
up, you have to feel something about your son opening.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole different story.
He loved it. It was yeah, I could tell he was like a kid in the candy store getting to see them. So he was pretty excited, and it really warmed my heart to be able to um not only open a show for one of the bands I love, but open a show for one of the bands he loved. And it was cool. Like my dad actually like remember like found him in like a magazine back in this like music magazine he would subscribe to back in the 90s, and he still had all the magazines. He just like had them stored away in the garage, and he found the one that Sponge was on the cover of, and so he brought it to the show and got the singer's like the only like member left from the like original era of the band, but got to meet him and got it signed and everything. So it was my dad was definitely having a great day that day. So it was really cool to see him excited, just as much as I was excited about the event. So yeah.
I think you might be more excited than you, honestly. Like, ultimate
Yeah, he
fanboy
was he was
moment
pretty
if you've been
excited.
loving them
Yeah.
since like 20 years or so.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was really cool event. Day I'll definitely all three of those shows actually will be days I'll be talking about for the rest of my life for sure. So it
If
was
it's
cool.
some of your biggest artists that you loved, I mean,
Uh,
I would just talk about it every day of my life until I die.
yeah.
Honestly, nothing would live up to that.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with my solo project. I'm just excited. I'm kind of getting the urge to get back in the studio again. So um just working on writing some new songs, and hopefully we'll get something out by like February. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Like, I can't
thank
wait
you.
to stay tuned for all of that stuff. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. And
Oh,
if you
thank
need
you. That means a
anything at
lot.
all, just feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to help out in any way if necessary.
Sounds good. Thank
And I
you.
really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to chat with us on your busy schedule and finals, especially. It was so great chatting with you, and really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to chat with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me. This honestly, like, this has made my week. You reaching out and having me on this show, and just let me talk about my music project. It's awesome that someone like you is interested in what I'm doing. So it warms my heart and means the world to me.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
like someone like this needs to be recognized. As someone who loves rock music, I mean, to talk about rock music, I'm down for it. Whether it's a podcast conversation or not, I mean, it's a free conversation. To talk about rock music or Elvis Presley, I would do anything.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I like to hear.
So,
Cool.
thank you everyone for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review to stay tuned. And I talk to you guys very soon.